All right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for your weekly MMA podcast called Split Decision, brought to you from the Ruloff Family Inc. studios. It is Bueller, Dodge, and Dennis here to bring you the MMA news and, of course, break down some fight cards. We had some stuff going on last weekend. We got stuff going on this weekend. Just all around fun in the MMA community. Lots of crazy stuff has happened over the last week, so we're here to give it all to you. Of course, big thanks to our sponsors, strongboardbalance.com, which you can see right here. It's awesome. Get on board. Change the way you work out. Strongboardbalance.com. Follow them on Instagram for your chance to win one. Dennis has been doing the weekly workouts. How are those going for you?
Not this week.
Not this week.
No.
Is that 2 weeks in a row?
I've missed 2 weeks in this whole thing. Not 2 weeks in a row. No,
right.
I didn't do anything this week because I was trimming palm trees, fell over. I got some bruised ribs right
You
now.
got some bruised ribs.
I got a little sand in my...
But your legs still work.
Yeah.
So that's all you got to do is stand on it.
If you ever have bruised ribs, bro, it's like a whole body. It's a whole body thing. And this whole thing is like around your core and ribs. It's a great thing, though. I like it.
I like ribs.
Ooh, ribs are good. The southern...
Some barbecue sauce.
Barbecue
you like the
sauce.
dry
It's
rub
awesome.
or you like the wet rub?
Whatever is the Carolina with the tangy vinegar.
That's the wet.
That's definitely wet.
Yeah.
Shout out strongboardbalance.com. Follow them on Instagram for your chance to win one. And, of course, our second home, which is mymmanews.com, your place for breaking news. They do it every day. We do this once a week. And so if you follow them, you'll find out more information over the week because we'll just reiterate it all to you on Thursday.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. We regurgitate everything that we learn. So, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at SD_MMA. Give us a like on Facebook at Split Decision MMA Podcast. And I think that's it. Is that it?
Wherever podcast broadcast.
Wherever podcasts are broadcast, tell your friends, come find us, give us a download, give us a like.
Can't remember his tagline.
I can't. The camera messes me up, man. So we're going to go ahead and jump into some mixed martial arts news. Are we starting with Kickboxer
Yeah,
Vengeance?
I gotta start with Kickboxer Vengeance, man.
The trailer is out for this week. Kickboxer Vengeance. It's a reboot, right?
It's a reboot.
Yeah, and it's got Jean-Claude Van Damme. Instead of playing Frank Duke's character, he is now going to be the coach.
Yeah, Durand.
Durant, is that what it was?
Durand. With a D.
With a D.
Master Durand.
Double D for a double dose of my pimpin'.
Upgrade.
Who's the main actor in this one?
That would be Alain Moussassi. Or Moussi? Moussi. Plays
Okay.
Kurt Sloan.
All right. And then, as we said, Jean-Claude Van Damme is in it. But
Yeah.
the crazy cast here is we have Dave Bautista, who's going to be the guy who kicks
Tong Po.
cement. Yeah.
He plays Tong Po. That's pretty awesome.
Crazy stuff there. Gina Carano's in it. George St. Pierre is in
Yeah.
it. Just a long list of
Cain
people.
Velasquez, Fabricio Verdun.
That's right. Saw Cain
Tony
Velasquez.
Jaa.
It's pretty awesome,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's pretty good.
And this comes out when?
This comes out really, really soon.
Wonderful. Wunderbar.
September 2nd.
September 2nd. And then this sequel is called what?
Yeah, they've already got a sequel. Kickboxer Retaliation.
Do we know who's in it? Mike Tyson's in it.
The first one is going to be called Kickboxer Vengeance, and then you got Kickboxer Retaliation. Roy Nelson is in it. The Mountain plays the new villain.
Oh, you can't say his name?
Go for it. Thor. Jorgensen,
Hyper Julius Jorgensen.
also known as Thor,
In the mountain.
a.k.a. The Mountain.
Have you seen how tiny his girlfriend is?
Yeah, it scares me.
It scares me.
That's worse than I think the Shaq girlfriend.
Oh, they could compare some stories.
Mike
Wow.
Tyson, Carano comes back. Dave
Which one do you
Bautista
call the
comes back.
Holland Tunnel? I don't know.
Roy Nelson going to be in this one.
Yeah, I saw that. The Mike Tyson one trips me out. I love
Yeah,
him in movies.
he's going to play apparently a fighter in prison.
All right.
Yeah. So are you excited to see?
I
I watched the trailer and I actually got a little excited.
You sent the trailer to us, and I'm not on board with reboots at all, but I liked it. I liked what I saw.
Yeah.
It looks entertaining. It looks fun. So we'll see what happens. I'm down with it.
All right. Recently, obviously, we had UFC 200 and Jose Aldo defeated Frankie Edgar.
Right.
And they were asking Aldo, what did you do? What did you change? What was different? He says, I knew not to throw my kicks because he was going to take me down. And I know that because I had a spy in Edgar's camp.
Well, they had tried to say that he had a spy in McGregor's camp. Remember,
Yep.
McGregor was trying to find who the spy was there.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's not the first time we heard of Aldo using spies.
Do you think
Well,
it's
he
real
says-
or do you think it's mental warfare?
Well, he says that he always has spies.
Well,
Right.
I'm just saying he didn't kick, and that's something that we all pointed out when we were watching it.
Yep.
And he followed this up by trying to defuse it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what he said. Do you have that up here?
Don't have that up here. All I have is that Frankie's coach says, I don't care. I could care less. I think we should have just been able to adjust. It's my fault. I failed Frankie. If Frankie fights him again, we'll do better. He's like, I thought of 20 different things that I should have adjusted, and I know I should have been smart enough to adjust, and I didn't.
Yeah, like Frankie should have done something in the last 2 rounds. Like fucking anything, really.
Quit getting punched. That shit's weak. That's
Getting hit with those
weak.
kicks,
Yeah,
man.
those leg kicks, don't get hit by those anymore.
Don't get hit by kicks. Oh, he's not throwing kicks. Don't get hit by punches.
Just don't
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Move.
Take him down.
Don't
I know he's not
lose.
kicking, but you can still take him down.
Don't lose the fight.
He doesn't have to kick for you not to take him down. Like, something. What else? Yeah. We have the Unified Rules of Mixed Martial Arts is a 10-point must system, as we all know. They're talking about adopting some new rules on how to judge fights in MMA.
Okay.
The Association of Boxing Commissions, the ABC, has MMA rules. They are going to go to a convention this year in Las Vegas. These rules could start January 1st, 2017, if it is approved. Some of those rules, the committee chairman, Sean Wheelclock, who is a former Bellator commentator, has put together a panel that includes Randy Couture, Matt Hughes, and John McCarthy. Some of the rules that they're talking about especially have to deal with the 10-8 round. And things that they want to add to look at for a 10-8 round is damage. It says a judge shall assess if a fighter damages their opponent significantly in the round, even though they may not have dominated the action. Damage includes visible evidence such as swelling, lacerations. Damage should also be assessed when a fighter's actions using striking or grappling lead to diminishing of their opponent's energy, confidence, abilities, and spirit.
So Rory McDonald will never win a fight again.
All of these come from a direct result of damage. When a fighter is damaged with strikes by lack of control or ability, they create defining moments in a round. They should be assessed at a greater value. Another one is dominance. MMA is an offensive-based sport. Dominance of a round can be seen in striking when a losing fighter is forced to continually defend with no counters or reaction taken when openings are present. Dominance in the grappling phase can be seen by fighters taking dominant positions in the fight and utilizing those positions in attempt for fight-ending submissions. Merely holding a dominant position shall not be a primary factor in assessing dominance. What a fighter does with those positions might be, or it should be addressed. I totally agree with that one.
Yeah, I like that because I'm so sick of the lay-in parade that's been around forever.
Oh, well, he was dominating the ground. No, he was holding it.
He was holding
the whole time.
It's like
is that dominating? Kinda.
I feel like if you get the takedown, like you could make a takedown worth 2 points, and it could be you get a point for the takedown, but you get a second point for doing something.
See, that's what I want. I just want a structured. I want a structured scoring. You know.
Something you can follow along with at home.
Because if you do,
otherwise it's very subjective.
And are we
It's
doing
totally
minute by
subjective.
minute? Are we doing every 30 seconds?
Well, and here we go. Have another one. Duration is the last one that they want to add. Duration is defined by the time spent by one fighter effectively attacking and controlling their opponent, while the opponent offers little to no offensive output. A judge shall assess the duration by recognizing the relative time in the round when one fighter takes and maintains full control with effective offense. It can be assessed grounded or standing.
You know, like a little Scantron.
Yeah, so you want like a fan check card?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Have it at home? Yeah.
You scan it with your phone and send it to them, and they'll take it in their account.
Agree with me, bitches. That's what I want.
it's just going to be a QR code. That's how it should be. It'd be like Hunger Games. At the end of every fight, you can just have fan voting.
Fan voting.
Yeah.
So now it's the new American Idol.
That's fine. Text.
You can
Like
call.
the gladiators,
You
man.
text. What
Yeah.
is it? You text.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Fighter.
Yeah.
Fighter 1, Fighter 2.
There will be. I guarantee you, there will be no more draws. Just won't happen anymore.
You don't think so? Ever?
If everybody in America,
One
was
guy's like,
voting,
she's
yeah.
pretty. Vote.
Yeah,
And
Then
she's lost.
then
She
you're gonna
looks
have
horrible now.
Yeah,
Keep
then you're gonna
voting.
have all the bot
I
votes.
feel bad for her.
You're gonna have the bot votes.
so
So you're gonna have people who are like technically savvy
Yep.
who are gonna be winning.
Dominating fights.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So
Then
we're
you-
gonna
and
see-
then- well, then you
J.
say-
Lau is going to own that shit.
Yeah,
Because that guy
Sage Northcutt's never gonna
Yeah.
lose.
is
Well.
a technical master when it comes to computers.
Well, then that's fine. He can win. You're going to have issues with people who aren't crowd favorites. They're going to be losing, but you take the losers out and you throw them into the pit. You don't worry about them anymore. Then you're
and then you
left
film that pit. I mean, just saying on an extra pay-per-view channel.
the
makes extra
Sarlacc
money.
pit. Here's the Sarlacc channel.
It's like the guar worm, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
you eat 'em.
Perfect.
Chad Mendes suspended for 2 years
Yeah,
after his failed PED test on May 17th.
he's owning up to it.
Owning up to it, it has been released. He was using GHRP6.
I was going to say GHB for a second. I was
which
like,
is
whoa, dude.
growth hormone releasing hexapeptide.
Sure.
Yeah. Which is a prohibited substance.
Hexapeptide. Oh, okay, there it is.
Which is a prohibited substance. Is listed as a non-specified substances that WADA prohibited list. Yeah. 2 years. So he can come back and fight.
So does that mean okay? Now is that a solid 2 years? Because I've heard like what we heard where certain people will get their suspension negotiated for giving other people up. I mean, so is your suspension negotiable? Because like Diaz, right? His was set at one point. I mean, are we going to get 12 months into it and maybe we might see Mendez come back, you know?
I don't think so. A lot of these guys, unless they go and appeal it, it's going to be what it is.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that
Diaz got his appealed.
You think he'll appeal this? I mean,
No, he says he's not going to. He says, I didn't do my homework. It was a big mistake. I own it. I'm going to pay for it. 2 years he's out. He says the drug that was using aids in fat loss, increases muscle gain, reduces inflammation of healing injuries, particularly tendinitis.
he's going hunting.
It's 2 years is like we said before, it's just too much time for that.
It's eternity.
It's an eternity for this kind of sport. It really is. I mean, how do you get in other sports? This is my ignorance leaking here, but how often in other sports do guys get suspended for 2 full seasons?
Not a lot. I mean, we will have a story
Dude,
coming up here real quick.
yeah,
In fact, we can get into that right now. We had 2 fighters, obviously, at UFC 200. We had John Jones get pulled out beforehand. We have the drug that's been released now. And we'll get into Brock Lesnar tested positive.
On fight day.
Obviously, 2 weeks before his fight, which they did not get the results till after the fight. And then come to find out, they got the day of the fight. The day of the fight, he failed the test. Now, looking into this, kind of related, which is I think is kind of funny, is that Arthur Jones, who plays for the Indianapolis Colts, is John Jones' brother. Just got busted today for PEDs.
Is it the same substance? Is it the estrogen
It doesn't say.
blockers? Yeah.
Just violated the policy of performance-enhancing substances.
This doesn't happen that often in football either, does it?
Check this out. NFL says he is eligible to participate in off-season and preseason practices and games, but he is going to be suspended for the first 4 games of the regular season. So 4 games. That's it.
Well, the Raiders right now have 2 guys out. One guy for 4, another guy for 10, right? Same thing?
Is that
Yep.
PEDs?
PEDs.
Okay,
PEDs,
I didn't. You don't hear it that often.
It's
At least
not,
I don't
well,
think you do.
because, I mean...
Well, because you hear
with-
more about like crack cocaine and domestic violence, but
Right, which are
whatever.
things that the UFC does not test for because that's out of competition.
Right.
They don't test for domestic violence.
They don't test for anything. That's not their problem. Unless it comes up when they're arrested. You know
Yeah, I got you.
what I mean? Like, and then even then they're
Is
like,
that,
well,
is that a strip test?
we got to figure
They
this
have a
out.
little strip for that one.
Yeah.
litmus?
Put it in
Do
your
they have a litmus
Have to do the
for
acidity
domestic
for it?
violence?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. You test positive for domestic
It's like
violence.
is your left eye purple? Okay.
All right, you're out.
We have to scan your
Everyone just
family.
brings in their wife and then they check them for bruises.
Hey, you got a microphone over there.
My bad.
This has gotten so dark so quick.
You got to turn it on, though.
So the drug that both Brock Lesnar and John Jones have been busted for is an anti-estrogen drug. It's a estrogen blocking drug called Clomid.
So I didn't understand how that worked until we kind of got into this beforehand, before
Yeah.
the podcast began.
The former PED developer and now anti-PED advocate Victor Conte has said clomiphene is a PED. It enhances performance. It increases testosterone by 50%. I personally used it during the Balco days. It blocks the conversion of testosterone to estrogen, making you stronger, faster, and aiding in your recovery.
Isn't there a song like that?
It would be like increasing the amount
Yes,
of water.
You gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Oh, no, I thought stronger, faster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
let's-
Kanye West.
good old Kanye, yeah, that's
All
right.
Or originally Daft Punk.
Yeah, okay.
He took the one part of it, and that's all he used.
Josh was getting into that.
I was getting there. Relax. I'm a Daft Punk fan. Calm down, sir. He says it'd be like increasing the water going into a bathtub with reducing the size of the drain. The effect is more water in the bathtub, testosterone, less going down the drain.
And because the estrogen blocker, the testosterone doesn't damage you.
Yeah.
Or they, because
How big is the
So
drain?
they said there's the guy has never heard of it.
hair right now.
The guy has never heard of it in any nutritional supplement. In fact, if they do have a supplement, bring it in and get it tested. Otherwise, that's a big smokescreen. There's no way this should have showed up unless you're taking what it is.
Specifically taking
Specifically, Sean McCorkle has some insights on that. He says when you inject a lot of testosterone, your body decides it can't use it all. It triggers 2 things. One, it converts the excess into estrogen. Estrogen can give you all the negative side effects you've heard about when taking testosterone: hair loss, acne, bitch tits, emotional problems.
Bob has bitch tits.
2, if you're taking too much for too long, your brain tells your body and your balls to stop producing testosterone. This is why your balls shut down, start to shrink.
See, I did not know that. I had a friend that used to take steroids.
So it's not necessarily testosterone. I mean, it is obviously over
Yeah.
testosterone. It's because it converts it into estrogen, trying to balance you out.
So it shrinks your balls.
It shrinks your balls.
But
It
it doesn't
pushes-
shrink your winky.
No.
That's a misconception.
That's
it does
a
not shrink your
misconception.
winky. It
It's
shrinks your balls.
Now, he said a lot of people...
Your winky's a muscle. It should make your muscle bigger and harder.
Which, like, now that I've learned more from Sean McCorkle on this, I kind of want to start cycling on.
and actually, I think
You
your
don't use
winky
your balls anyway.
I think your winky actually looks bigger
Because your balls are smaller.
This is true.
It's like
Either
when
way
you get
could
a
help.
clean shave.
Yeah, either way could help.
I'll let you know next week.
Get the old BH wax once again.
Yeah, I'm getting,
Says smart
I'm getting
people
there.
run testosterone
Brazilian.
and take Amirdex, which is
a Brazilian.
A Brazilian.
which is an
I like
estrogen
it.
blocker. He says after they cycle, they'll take HCG. This is the same one that Chael got caught for. It super kickstarts your natural production again, which makes your balls swell twice the normal size if you're into that.
Yeah.
Clomid is supposed to be the best of both worlds. You can take it the whole time you run your cycle. It blocks estrogen, tells your balls to keep producing, even though it's overloaded. And so basically saying, if Armidex is the black belt, it's like a brown belt.
I'm down.
Clomid.
I want to give it a shot.
So
Can
the
we-
advantage
for
is,
experimental purposes on the show, can we do that? Is that legal?
as he says, the advantage is that you take it the whole time you run your cycle, and it performs both functions. Maybe not as good as some of the ideal choices, but for guys waiting to beat PED or wanting to beat a PED test, it is the best because after you stop your cycle, you need to take HCG for a month to get back to normal
For a
production.
month.
It doesn't
It'll
matter.
show up on a drug test 90 days after that month when you stop. So you're looking at 4 months off before you're going to pee clean.
Anything that's fucking with my wang doodle, bro, I don't even want to mess around.
However, Clomid, if you're taking it while taking testosterone and stop a month before your cycle stops because it's detectable for 60 days, and then take the testosterone proponent, it's not detectable at 3 weeks. You can literally stop a cycle 3-4 weeks later, piss completely clean. What he thinks happened, he's saying again allegedly, is that Brock and John cut it too close by not stopping taking Clomid soon enough. He said there's just
This is just one possible
It's
solution.
just one possible solution. So, but it has come out that for sure John Jones and Brock Lesnar tested positive for Clomid.
Which I want to try now.
Now you want to try?
Definitely.
Don't use your body as a chemistry set.
Says you.
Wait. Can we use his body as a
Yeah,
chemistry?
it's my body. I can use it for whatever the fuck I want,
Turn
man.
into a pinacore.
Yeah, I go buy those peanut supplements at the liquor store.
40 goat feed?
Fucking blue lightning.
Does it work?
No, that doesn't work.
They give you more energy. I think it's just energy pills.
Aaron, and my friend Aaron took one, and he said he was just like he had to close his eyes because he was seeing literally blue streaks of lightning in the walls, and he started hallucinating.
Is that the one called Blue Lightning?
It was called the blue lightning.
Well, maybe you shouldn't take that
Maybe
one.
you shouldn't take that one. I was like,
I
well,
think he was having a stroke.
That's probably the problem.
Stroke.
That's
he was
probably
gonna have a couple. I was like, bro, did your dick get hard? He's like, yeah. I said, well, then it fucking worked. I don't know what your problem is. Take Viagra.
No, seriously, that was probably like high blood pressure. Yeah, it got you hard because your blood had nowhere else to go.
This is probably exactly what it was, man. I've called those supplement things before. They're like they send you like 2 sample bottles and they don't charge your credit card till 3 months later when you're not paying attention.
Wait a minute.
And then they charge your credit card like $400. I've done one of those.
Why are you doing anything where they're like,
Porn
hey,
crate, right?
You can send us a post-dated check, or we'll bill you as the ice cream company.
Hey, did you hear that you might only be bloated? You're not fat.
Yeah, that one too. No, we just need your credit card to make sure you're 18 years old. We're not going to charge it.
Yeah.
So you're not looking. I'm not a smart guy. I don't know. I just heard bigger wang. Sign me up.
He's all, I'm not a smart guy. I just play one on Split Decision Podcast.
But he did say it at Holiday Inn Express.
This is true.
Or wait, you were conceived in a Holiday Inn Express.
No, I was conceived in a Motel 6.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why. If it was a Holiday Inn Express, genius.
Genius. There you go. That's the flip side of that one.
Crocop recently had tested positive. We talked about that. Decided to retire. He says USADA came to him and said that they would reduce his sentence or even wipe it clean if he were to point fingers at other users.
So it's like there was a movie with The Rock like this.
They would wipe his finger clean?
I think they're trying to get
They
takeover.
would wipe his finger clean.
But however, Crocop has now been released from the UFC because he is going to go fight in Ricin.
Yeah.
Along with Vanderlei Silva, where they don't test PEDs and they don't give a shit about any of that.
No, they
just
have
like
it. that's-
Pride used to.
They have it like a smorgasbord when you walk in of just whatever you want.
In
You
fact,
just go pop it.
speaking of Ricin, they are now going to host a 16-man open weight tournament
Yay.
September 25th.
Isn't Ricin like a terrorist powder?
Ricin?
Oh, Ricin. Sorry.
Wow.
Terrorist power.
I don't know. Man, this whole thing in
That's the
Munich.
name of the band right there.
Yeah. Oh,
Terrorist powder.
Terrorist powder. Name
Yes.
of the bands.
Son
For all
of
you
a
guys
bitch.
following along, name of the bands.
Put it on there.
Go put it on there.
Well, it'll be an Anthrax cover band.
So we have one of the another person that's getting out due to drug testing is Emil Valhalla Meek.
I thought it was the Techno Viking.
Almost.
Almost.
He was the guy who crushed Paul Harris over in Ventor FC.
Oh.
he has decided to come over to the
Beat the
UFC.
shit out of him.
He says because of the UFC's drug testing, he's going to have to hold off because he wants to make sure that he doesn't pop for anything. He says that the drug testing, he had a medical treatment that he received prior to signing the UFC. It's potential out of compliance with their anti-doping policy. So his fight that was going to be September 3rd in Germany is going to be pulled. He says...
Because the bottom of the box said, please wait 60 days to drug test after taking this product.
He said, I signed up for my debut before my enrollment in the UFC was complete. Going from Venture to UFC involves a way stricter regimen as what medication I'm allowed to use. We've decided it's not worth the risk. The result was me pulling out of my fight. Nothing changes my relationship with the UFC other than my debut in the Octagon we pushed till around December.
Yeah.
You got to give it up to him.
I have not failed any drug tests whatsoever. It's merely a preliminary caution. I have been enrolled in the USADA's registered testing pool to prepare since June. I'm happy. He feels sorry for his opponent in hopes that he can fight another time.
Yeah, and I mean, just the fact that he went in there with the state of mind that he was not going to pull out.
Yeah. Works well.
You got to give it up. I mean, he's keeping it in there.
Someone not happy with all the drug testing.
He's not looking for that full
obviously
release,
going
though,
up
either.
against opponents that have been busted for drugs is that Mark Hunt. He is, again, asking for, he wants all of Brock Lesnar's purse. Brock Lesnar, of course, had the largest purse in MMA, $2.5 million just to show up.
But he would settle for
MMA,
$500,000
into the
and some
UFC.
Mongolian barbecue.
He says, the way I see it, he says Brock Lesnar doping thing is another reason why we need a fighters association or a union. These guys are just making up the rules as they go. First was the Reebok thing, then Brock gets a 4 months test exemption. Conor gets pulled off a card for not doing any press that me and Brock didn't do anyway. How do you work that out? I'm sure there's other things.
Here's my problem with the fighter association, and I don't know if a lot of people understand how unions work. This would be two workers having a fight. The association would not save you for a fighter-on-fighter problem. The association would only help you when your problem is with the management.
But that's where Mark Hunt's problems are.
That's where his problem
problems
is.
are with...
He says...
No, but he's trying to take another worker's and his union's money.
But that's two separate things. What he's saying about the Fighters Association is because of Conor getting pulled off for no reason, essentially because neither him or Brock did media.
So
but
why
Conor
did they get pulled off that card?
So if there was a Fighters Association, then Conor would have been protected at that point from management pulling him off the card.
He's also saying that basically, how is it that the UFC allowed Brock Lesnar to have a
I'm behind,
4 month exemption?
I'm behind
How he's able
that.
to allow him to have... He got $2.5 million to come and show up and fight, juiced out of his mind, and then he gets nothing? He's putting his body and life at risk. It's exactly what he says. He says,
Are we gonna ever
It's
know-
ridiculous. He's like, I've fought 3 guys in a row. Frank Mir,
Right.
right?
Yeah, but he
Bigfoot Silva.
ate some tainted kangaroo meat.
Bigfoot Silva,
He had lactation problems.
and Brock Lesnar.
What's
Yeah.
lactation?
Yeah, that's what. When you're a black zillion, you have lactation.
Holy shit.
He says they're cleaning up the sport. He
It's
says, I
chocolate
risked
milk.
my health
Okay.
against guys who are cheating since this USADA thing started. I was told Brock was going to be tested, and when I took the fight, he comes in, looked freaking juicy as hell. He's like, I find out he's been popped after the pay-per-view that's already been sold. It's ridiculous. He's like, and the fact is they haven't even made contact with me since this happened. Proves they don't care.
Because they look like idiots. Because he was so pissed. He's like, he's juiced. He's juiced. He's juiced. And they're like, no, he's not. No,
We're testing him.
Yeah.
If I just heard the last lines, I could have swore he was upset that he wasn't a virgin because he came in looking juicy and he popped afterwards. Something like that. But the union would set up guidelines with the management, and the guidelines would have to be followed by everybody.
I mean, think about it. Originally, Lesnar said he was getting popped because he had an inhaler.
Was that Lesnar that said that?
Yeah.
Oh.
His camp said, it's because he takes an inhaler because he has asthma problems.
Well, it's a steroid.
Shop, I have asthma problems. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
And like with the Fighters Association, like Hunt said, they would have had to go to the fighters to get the whole Reebok deal approved.
That's why
too.
Sable has to get on top, because I can't breathe. Go ahead, Dodge, start laughing. You can't breathe.
I think it's because if he was on top, she wouldn't be able to breathe. Have you seen the size of that man?
Are we adding that to the whole like Mountain, his girlfriend, Shaq, his wife?
No,
and Brock
she's
and
not
Sable?
that small. Dillashaw obviously would be somebody that would go on with the Fighters Union. He says UFC treats us like employees, but does not give us benefits like employees. They treat us like employees minus the benefits. The whole drug testing thing is
welcome
crazy.
Welcome to manufacturing.
They're making us wear Reebok and all this stuff we have to do. They're treating us like employees without giving us any benefits. We have to tell them where we are at all times. They can show up and drug test us anytime we want. We don't get health benefits, which from what I was told and everything I've ever read, they do, right? I mean, all their health things are taken care of.
Yeah,
they have insurance, fighter insurance. In fact, so many of them were happy because they can get all these old injuries taken care of.
I'm telling you, it's like a lot of people with Covered California. They don't even realize how it works.
Works for
me. Have you ever tried to sign up? Oh, I got to call somebody? They just believe they just send it to you.
You don't just give it to me? I can't just walk in.
I walked up in the doctor and I was like, Covered California, bitch.
Insurance cards is a driver's license. With
a
20 underneath it.
That would be too that'd be too easy.
Some happier news we got. Evangelista Cyborg Santos is doing fine. He had his surgery. They're adding a plate to the front of his skull.
So he's done.
He is doing okay. His wife
Bellator told him he could fight in 3 months.
No. He thought he could fight. He told everybody he'd be fighting.
He's going to be fighting with a metal plate in his face.
His ex-wife, obviously Chris Cyborg Justino, had set up a GoFundMe for him to get $20,000 to help with his medical bills. And that was meant in 24 hours, which is great.
Then Bellator announced they were going to go ahead and take care of it all.
Bellator announced they were going to go ahead and take care of it.
After reviewing their insurance.
He said,
as long as he doesn't fight Magneto, he's good. Right?
Yeah. He said all the extra money he will be donating to charity that was raised by the GoFundMe.
He's going to be fighting with a spoon and macaroni and cheese here for a little while.
There is no spoon.
Yeah.
Is that a spoon or a metal dick? I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there.
Plane's coming in for a landing.
You let me imagine what I want to imagine.
Yeah.
You guys imagine what you want to imagine.
Dick heading towards your face. So good for Cyborg.
Magneto dildo.
He's alive. He's going to continue being alive.
Metal dicks and all.
Metal dicks and all.
We're not going to talk about how he was pissed off about MVP's
his celebration.
Pokemon celebration?
Yeah.
It's not like MVP could know that he crushed the guy's skull.
He didn't know he crushed the guy's skull.
Dude, there was guys in the back row that knew that the skull was crushed. They said it popped like a walnut.
It hurt. It was very loud.
Yeah.
Extremely loud. I watched the replay. It was extremely loud. However, I didn't know his skull was crushed.
Yeah, it's like...
How did MVP's knee not give in?
It's like there was a pop and then they're like, everybody conga!
And then he put him in a Pokeball.
Gloria Estefan popped out.
We're old. There's like 20 people that didn't even get that reference just now.
It's hot in here.
The UFC has announced we're going to have a rematch. Joe Lauzon against Jim Miller after both their wins over UFC 200.
Sweet.
I'm excited for that fight. That was a great fight.
Those are a couple of great fighters
That's
that put on
going
great
down
fights.
August 27th. Check that out, UFC in Canada. It's going to be a fight night. I'm excited for that fight.
All right.
Really excited. And then the last little bit of news we have before we get into the fight coming up this weekend. Ultimate Fighter 24. How many times have we talked about this where it's like, it's going to work, it's not going to work, what they should do, what they shouldn't do.
I was kind of wondering if like Ultimate Fighter 23 was going to be the last one we saw.
Right.
We hadn't heard anything more about
They
24.
canceled tryouts. They had all this crap going on. They said they were going to try to find 16 flyweights to go up against, and then they were going to get an immediate title shot with Demetrius Johnson.
Which he didn't know about.
Demetrius Johnson, didn't know about it, and then said, no. You're not just going to give some nobody a title shot. That's not why. Why? I should pick them. I should handpick them.
I should at least look at the list.
Yeah. Well, the list now is out, and the UFC kind of did something they have not done yet before.
It's kind of awesome.
It's pretty awesome. In fact, we mentioned this, I remember on our podcast, that there was at least 3 or 4 flyweight champions out there that they should try to pick up for the show. Well, they in fact picked up every single flyweight champion
what
that
they did
could
was
pull from any organization.
They went to every organization across the globe and just fucked their flyweight division by taking their champions.
Adam Antolin from Tachi Palace, Damasio Page from Legacy FC, Kai Kara from France, from Bragging Rights Australia, Ronaldo Candido de Oliveira from Shuto South America, Alexandre Pantoja from RFA, Eric Shelton from Caged Aggression, Matt Rizzo from Ring of Combat.
Where's the guy from Shock Fights where they fight with the tasers on their fists?
Terrence Mitchell from Alaska FC, Brandon Marino from World Fighting Federation. The guy I'm excited about, Hiro Masa Ochikubo from Shuto Japan, Matt Schnell from Legacy FC, Tim Elliott from Titan FC, Charlie Alans from Hex Fighting in Australia, Jamie Alvarez from Absolute Fighting Championships, Nagazulu Zulu from EFC Africa, and Yoni Sherbatov from XFFC Canada.
I don't know. I don't see Shock Fights. I don't see Shark Fights.
Shark Fight's still around?
I don't know, man. I don't.
And if they have a champion that's in that weight class, that's the big thing.
That's the question.
A lot of the other organizations didn't have a flyweight.
Like Dad at 5000's Backyard Fight League.
Right, he didn't have a flyweight.
Only has heavyweights.
Only have heavyweights.
Yeah, all right.
Maybe some light heavyweights, which they called.
I don't think anybody was 205.
Which
bro.
they called lightweight.
Yeah, no, that was all 230 and above.
Minnow weight.
But yeah, so I think this is pretty cool.
I think they did.
Coaches,
They just keep doing what we tell them.
Yeah, they need to keep listening to the show
Exactly.
and write us some checks.
Here's what's going to be great about this is when we get our coaches and then they start training together, because all these guys essentially they're champs in the same division. So we're going to be able to find out. It's almost like a controlled experiment.
Yeah.
Over who really has the best champion. I kind of dig that.
It's kind of cool.
We'll find out who's a feeder league and who's not.
Or if it
King of the Cage.
Not a feeder.
I'm not a feeder.
And then we have this Saturday live on Fox. That's this Saturday
Live on Fox.
on Fox.
I edited that part out. I fixed that shit. By the way, we did an interview with Gilbert Melendez.
It's out.
If you haven't found it yet, go ahead and give it a listen. I had to make some edits because I'm a moron, but
Even though I typed it out for you.
whatever.
Big bold letters.
Big bold letters.
Like he said, he's not a smart man, but he plays one.
Look, dude, if it's not the colorful magnetic letters on a refrigerator, I can't read it. That's the only
See,
way
that's
to
why I
do
told you I should have just came there.
it. Yeah.
Hey, you know that shit don't stick to my stainless steel refrigerator?
Yeah.
It's done.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, if a magnet sticks to stainless steel, it's not real
not
stainless
stainless steel.
steel.
Hey, well, it's good to know. Because I did get my fridge from Joey on the Block.
If it doesn't say Micro Machine, it's not the real thing, dude.
He's got that tattoo somewhere. You do the math.
You know exactly where it's at.
Yeah, baby.
Does your dick say Micro Machine? No. Damn it!
Mine says welcome aboard.
On a cold day, all it says is boob.
Did your mom ever catch you masturbating in the closet?
What?
No? It's a great hiding place, huh? Damn it!
Wow. Anyway, how about this car in Chicago?
All right.
Do your parents know you're gay?
Yes. They're the ones that told everybody.
They're the ones who told me.
Yeah.
So we got Luis Enrique and Dmitry Smolikov kicking off the Fight Pass fight card, followed by Jim Allers.
So I've actually moved it 2 feet further away, and now you can read it?
I can read it? No, I can't read it.
Okay.
My laser vision's all fucked up now.
All right.
Jim Allers going up against Jason Knight, and then Alex Oliveira going up against James Muntasari. I don't know if I got that right or not. I'm just going to throw it out there. That moves on to Fox.
Going right on Fox?
Yeah, not Fox Sports 1, not Fox Sports Small, but Fox.
Is that the Deuce?
The Deuce.
Not the Deuce.
The Ocho. Going with Michael Prezeres up against J.C. Cottrell.
Ocho is not 40.
Ocho is 8.
I know that.
We know dodgeball.
Dodgeball, man.
ESPN. The Ocho.
The Ocho. I'm not that dumb. Sure, I fucked up Dos Anjos for 4 years.
And you want to know what's
4 years,
funny?
they called him 2
Wait,
hands.
and in our area, I think's on Xfinity. I think Channel 8 is Fox.
See?
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
The
It
Ocho.
used to be 12.
It was,
40.
It was 12 when you had a
was
dial
12.
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
40.
Oh, radio
Yeah, switched
doesn't.
over.
Radio doesn't know about dials.
No?
No.
What? Yeah, oh yeah, I do. I still had the dials when I was little.
Got dials going on in your pocket.
What the
Jesus.
hell is that, man?
Anyway, moving on.
It's my tricorder. Sorry.
It's got like a stick shift and dual exhaust. Michael Prezeres is going up against J.C. Cottrell as your first fight of the night. Anything on that?
No.
No. Kamaru Usman.
Obviously, you're going to pick the clickable guy.
Yeah, of course.
Clickable?
Clickable, not clickable. Kamaru Usman going up against Alexander Yakovlev. I like Usman in this fight.
I like Yakovlev.
Yakovlev.
Yep.
So 2 for Usman, 1 for Yakovlev.
There you go.
Darren Elkins going up against Godofredo Pepe.
I got Elkins.
I'm going with Godofredo all day.
Yeah, of course, the Sicilian. I gotta go with Godofredo.
Godofredo Pepe.
Pepe. He kicks the ball.
Frankie Say ends up against Eddie Wineland.
Yeah. Eddie Wineland coming back. I love
Yeah.
Wineland, man.
I'm going to have to flip a coin right before this starts.
He's all team violence.
Yeah, you know what? I'm happy to go with Wineland on this one.
Yeah?
But if he loses, he's out.
Hasn't he been out for a while?
Throw him in the pit, out. Sarlacc
Throw
pit.
him in the Sarlacc pit?
Sarlacc pit. Done
Who's he going to
cakes.
fight out there?
The
Who else
Sarlacc.
we throwing out in the fight?
That's got to be like our next graphic, is one of you guys throwing people in the Sarlacc pit.
Last time he fought was last year.
Yeah, he's coming off of 2 losses in a row as well. Moving on to your main card here, we got Felice Herrig making her return up against Kaylin Curran.
Yeah, she stopped her American Ninja Warrior training to actually train for a fight, looking shredded.
She didn't stop her American Ninja Warrior training. She didn't make it.
No, she made it, and then they didn't air it, and then they aired it on their Facebook.
Oh, that's on their Canadian
and
Facebook channel.
After she got really upset with them because she said she wanted to focus on the fight more. Anyway, she looks shredded. She's happy about morning weigh-ins because now she can start eating again. I got Kaylin Karan in this fight, though.
I kind of feel the same way. And I also feel like if Felice doesn't win this fight, then she's probably getting her walking papers, too.
She's going to go to the Starlight Pit?
She's going to go to Starlight Pit or Invicta.
Can she drop weight and go to a... No.
She's already at strawweight.
Strawweight. Yeah.
There's nothing else for her to go to.
Gain
weight? Gain weight.
Either gain weight or atom weight. And she
that's
go back,
what I fight at.
Yeah.
She can go back to Invicta, and I think she'll do all right. I mean, she did well there when she was there, so why not?
Yeah, I kind of feel for her on this one. She's got to pull out a win, or I think she's getting those papers. Francis Ngannou up against Bojan Mihajovic. Shit. Sorry, guys, I can't see very well today. Apparently, we've clicked on Bohan before.
Yeah.
So,
No,
he's not clickable at all. See? No.
No.
Then Francis Ngannou.
Yep.
Gets my vote.
That's who you're going for.
That's it. And the man that we interviewed, Gilbert Melendez, or Giblert, going up against Edson Barboza. What a fight here. This is actually...
He didn't seem amused by that.
So Edson's coming in as the favorite, though, right?
He didn't seem amused by a lot of things, actually.
Right? Well, did they get that fight kit fixed for you?
Yeah, they worked it out.
I got a fresh one.
Because I got the Giblert one. You want to trade? Also, I got to say, being Team Scrap Pack, Team 209, Team all that stuff, like, he admitted in the interview, you can go listen to it, where when he took this fight with Barboza, in the beginning, he was hesitant.
Yes, for sure.
Very much when the fight was offered to him, he was like, oh, shit. And then he said yes. So I don't know how that's going to play.
Has some, hands down, one of the most dynamic strikers in the lightweight division in the UFC right now. Lots of kicks, lots of elbows. Gilbert's going to have to do what he says he's going to have to do. He's definitely going to have to wrestle.
He's got to wrestle.
And take Edson Barboza down. Edson Barboza is not unbeatable. It is going to be a tough fight for Gilbert Melendez. I can see Gilbert Melendez losing a decision if he's not careful.
Striker versus grappler here.
I will still be, I'm probably taking Barboza in this fight.
So Gilbert's got to utilize that wrestling he has. He's also got great jiu-jitsu training with the 209 crew. Barboza being a stand-up fighter out of the two and hits really, really, really hard, and his kicks are nothing to scoff at either. I think the first round is really going to dictate what happens here. Mm-hmm. If Gilbert can't get him down in the first round, then he's going to lose.
All right, Dennis.
I gotta go Gilbert. Yeah.
And then Holly Holm in your main event up against Valentina Shevchenko.
Yes.
This is going to be an interesting fight to see what Holly Holm comes back as after her loss.
Yeah, and if you look at statistics, champions who've lost their belt usually do not do well either the first fight back or the second fight back.
Is that right?
They traditionally lose that bout, at least in the UFC. That's statistics wise. Holly Holm, great boxer. Valentina Shevchenko is a 17-time world champion Muay Thai fighter and kickboxer. It's going to be interesting to see. This is definitely a striker for Holly Holm to put her chance. Thing with me is Holly Holm always looked flat up until her destruction of Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Her fighting style is weird.
Yeah.
This is going to be very interesting. We have two very dynamic. We have a boxer and a kickboxer, two very dynamic strikers. I think what we're going to see here is the world's shittiest wrestling match.
If you want to put some MMA / fight math into this, Shevchenko did beat Joanna in kickboxing. Okay? However, she lost to Liz Carmouche in MMA.
Okay.
So
yeah, but was that her first fight in MMA?
No, it was like her fourth.
Okay.
Yeah, so it might have been her first big test, though. We could look at her record and see who she's gone up against in MMA. It was her seventh fight.
Who did she just lose to?
First one in the United States.
And she just lost to Nunes, right?
Yeah,
but she took Nunes
to a decision.
All 3 rounds, right?
And it was a pretty good fight. And I honestly, I don't know. It wasn't a split decision. It was unanimous for Nunes. I really thought Shevchenko did a really good job in that fight. We'll see how it ends up going. Holly Holm, again, her MMA record is she only has the one loss, right? Yeah, only to Miesha Tate. Yeah. And in my opinion, she was winning that fight. She got lazy at the end. She
should have listened to her corner and stayed away from her.
And she flat out says, I got lazy. She stopped judging the distance. She just figured, I've already won this fight. I've already ran 4 rounds. This 5th round I'll coast.
What's she going to do, choke me out?
Yeah. Oh.
And mistakes were made, and now we have a division that's in complete turmoil because now what happens if Shevchenko wins?
So here's the crazy
thing. So
then
then Shevchenko become the number one contender?
I'm a big Ronda Rousey fan. Dana White said immediately when Amanda Nunes won, the title shot goes to Ronda Rousey if she comes back. Why?
It's changed how many hands?
Even as a fan of hers, why? Why does she get the immediate title shot? Because he's saying, oh, well, she never got her title shot, her rematch title shot when she lost it to Holly Holm because she wanted to take time off. That's her fault.
Yes.
If it was in the same year, sure. But it's not been a year. Or it's been more than a year.
Yeah.
And the titles change hands. The minute Miesha Tate got it, he said if she comes back, it's her title shot. Now he's saying Amanda Nunes has it. Ronda Rousey gets it. Why didn't Holm get her rematch?
Because it's all about the money.
So it's going to be real
That's
interesting.
what we've been talking about, these matchups not making sense lately because they make dollars. That's it.
Shevchenko wins this fight.
She's the number one contender. She has to be, right?
She fights, obviously I would say, yeah, she fights Amanda Nunes for the title. If Holly Holm wins this fight, does
she fights Miesha Tate again?
Miesha Tate, or does she fight Amanda Nunes? Like, what?
I don't know.
Who did she get the title shot right away?
Royal Rumble?
Yeah, put them all in the same cage.
Do a
put them all in the
ladder
Sarlacc
match?
pit.
Ladder match. I like a ladder match. Dangle the belt.
I like a strap match. I want to see them tied together.
Whoa. Let's hold on now.
Wait, table, ladder, scissor match?
Yeah, we're talking about ladies here. You can't talk about a strap match.
You can't say scissors either.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
TLC. TLS.
Scissors with the C, right?
Yeah. Skizzers.
Skizzers.
Got it.
Like it.
So who you guys got in this fight? You guys got Holm? You got Shevchenko?
I'm with Shevchenko. I was rooting for her against Nunes.
She's got more weapons with her Muay Thai, but I'm going to go with Holm.
Yeah, I think Holm has a better camp to plan for a fight like this, and I'll take Holm. I'm going to be rooting for Shevchenko, though, for sure.
You guys took Holm over Tate, and then you guys took Tate over Nunes. Mm-hmm. So
I know.
I'm just telling everybody out there in listening land, if you're going to make a bet,
listen to Dennis.
Yeah.
Shevchenko.
Don't ever listen to me. ever. Come back here around again.
Yeah, but now when it comes to men fights, don't even listen to me. I think I'm like 1-85.
Just start keeping records. We
We
should
can
do that.
if you want to go.
You
back
were
and
for a little
listen.
bit.
I was for a little
Yeah.
while, and it got tiresome.
We'll have to start fresh. We can start fresh with 201. Let's do that.
201 has to be a pay-per-view. We're no longer going to do it on, like...
No, but I'm just saying that'll give us a good starting off point.
Oh, okay.
201's a good starting off point.
Sure.
And then we'll start keeping records of our picks there. All right, thanks for listening. Of course, tell your friends. You can find us wherever podcasts are broadcast. Big thanks to our sponsors, strongboardbalance.com. Change the way you work out. Get on board at strongboardbalance.com, as well as mymmanews.com. And you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at SD_MMA, and on Facebook, Split Decision MMA Podcast. That's pretty much it from the Ruloff Family Inc. Studios. It's Bueller and Dodge saying have a good night. We'll see you at the
That's for
fights.
you, Jeff.
Look at this one.